In the early 1900s, the Pacific Electric Railway transformed Huntington Park from farmland into a busy working class hub, supporting the factories in nearby Vernon. But that growth came with trade offs. Alongside economic opportunity came the lasting impacts of industrial pollution, shaping how residents live and stay healthy today. By the mid 20th century, demographic shifts reshaped the city. Latino communities became the majority, joined by the smaller populations of African American and Arab residents. This is the history of what we now call Huntington Park. Huntington Park, a city of just over 50,900 people, the story isn't told in numbers first. It's heard in voices. Spanish carries across sidewalks, storefronts, and schoolyards, reflecting a community shaped by Latin American roots. Huntington Park is also one of the youngest communities in the region, where families and children make up the heart of the daily life. Behind the statistics is a city built on movement, on migration, hard work, and generations continuing to shape what Huntington Park is becoming. After auto manufacturing left Huntington Park, it was replaced by food production and heavy industry, some of it unregulated, bringing increased air, soil, and noise pollution. In 1994, after the Northridge earthquake, a massive pile of crushed concrete from the 10 freeway sat in the community, causing respiratory problems and earning the area the name Asthma Town. Out of these conditions, groups like Communities for a Better Environment emerged, organizing residents to fight pollution and push for a healthier, more sustainable community. Here's CBE's researcher Amber Rivera, who spoke about the pollution around Huntington Park.
It's basically just like a bunch of facilities that emit some type of chemical vapor, air pollution. There's like, and it's because Huntington Park is it's so Southeast LA as a whole is just so dense urban wise, right? Vernon is like, right next door, right? And we know Vernon is the capital of industry, right? Heavy industry.
In Huntington Park, where most residents speak Spanish and many are uninsured, healthcare providers are treating more than just symptoms. They are working within a system shaped by deeper structural barriers. Just over half of adults have a high school diploma, and most households speak a language other than English at home, making it harder for many residents to navigate the healthcare system. At the same time, access to healthy environments is limited. Only about 2% of the city's land is dedicated to parks, and air quality often falls between moderate and poor. Together, these conditions help explain why chronic illnesses like asthma remain so common, showing how strongly health is shaped by the environment people live in.
So my patients tend to have limited access to nutritious foods. I do believe that Huntington Park would be considered a food desert. Most of my patients are in the obese BMI range, and they have comorbidities that comprise metabolic disease, diabetes, hyperlipidemia, hypertension.
Huntington Park is largely a food desert, as there are only 2 major markets found throughout the city. This, combined with large number of fast food restaurants, has resulted in Huntington Park being named as the most overweight city in California, with 53% of children and adolescents self-identifying as obese or overweight.
La Norgay y también las iglesias regalan comida.
With breakfast, lunch, and after school food with no charge, free of charge. And we are also walking distance of Cane's, Farmer Boys, Tams, which is a really good quick snack for all of us students.
Along with limited access to food, the city is often described as a concrete jungle, a lack of green space that contributes to lower youth participation in sports and increases the risk of heat-related illnesses among adults, such as heat exhaustion, heat stroke, and even death.
Yes, there is lack of green space as well, and that is combined with like high concrete jungles, what we call, basically just a bunch of concrete that goes for like miles, right? And so it does hinder for sure, absolutely, the health of the residents.
CBE is working with NASA to collect data from youth-borne sensors on extreme heat and air pollution in Huntington Park to support public health advocacy and expand green spaces, as the city has only 1 park and 5 smaller ones, often closed for repair.
We've had folks that say, like, even when I go to some parks, the quality of the parks themselves are not that good because the trees are baby trees, right? And we advocate for mature trees so they can provide much more shade and produce just like better air quality, right? And the thing is, Sela is one of those areas where like folks gotta walk more than a mile to get a park. We are what we say park poor. There's just not enough. And we've had members say like, I have to go to a different city, like outside HP.
Although Huntington Park has historically been considered safe, many residents now feel uneasy due to the presence of ICE. In a community where nearly half the population is foreign-born and overwhelmingly Latino, this has led to fewer people out on the streets and on a growing sense of fear.
But there was this one time where ICE agents would be around here around in the morning until the afternoon, where they would be harassing students and their parents. They would be around with guns and their trucks just roaming around, which was pretty like crazy to see and scary and dangerous.
Several of my patients expressed that they are now unable to adhere to an exercise regimen that they used to because they're afraid of encountering ICE.
As concerns around immigration enforcements disrupt daily routines and create fear for many residents, Huntington Park remains a place where families continue to build their futures. Beyond the headlines and political tension, thousands of self-made families have grown to appreciate the opportunities the city provides. Nicolas Leandro, a self-employed car wash worker and resident, reflects on how Huntington Park has supported his work and his children's education.
Me siento muy orgulloso de vivir en la ciudad de Huntington Park porque aquí han crecido mis hijos. Mi hija la mayor está estudiando medicina. Mi hijo, el del medio, es empresario, ya tiene 3 negocios, va bien. Y mi hija, la más chica, va siguiendo los pasos de los dos grandes. Entonces me siento muy a gusto con eso.
Huntington Park has always asked its residents to be resilient in the face of heavy machinery and hard borders. But where there is fear, there is also organized resistance.
At Huntington Park High School, my classmates and I are taught about leadership and advocacy for our community. As a new generation of leaders, we want to ensure that the previous barriers of our past, that